getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Anybody checked on him today?
Hope so.
Make sure that, he's like alive.
Well, he did another game after that.
Right, but that's when you could collapse finally, and that's when things go bad.
Hey, what's going on? This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 100.7 The Score mobile app, and the 100.7 The Score, or 107thescore.com, also doubleTSportsNetwork.com. We are watchable on TV, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV. Whole lot of ways to take us in. However you're doing so, we thank you for making us part of your Monday afternoon. Jeff McGuire sits to my right. I'm Chois Woodman. Ben Poorman across the way taking care of us. Y'all hit us up. You got thoughts, comments, questions, hopes, dreams. Bring them all in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app, which you are more than welcome to take anywhere with you. Even listen in if you're out in Celebration, Florida.
I'm going to guess that's not near Disney World.
I actually think it is.
Is it near Disney World?
I think that's where Disney is. It's Celebration, I think, is a Orlando suburb.
Well, it's definitely where the Red Raiders are going to after they pick up the dub against the Gators in the Super Regional.
That's the hope. Quite a weekend. Y'all react to it on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, however you see
Suburb
fit.
of Orlando. Look at that. 13,000 people. Nice pull.
I think I've stayed in Celebration before.
Oh, that don't make sense.
No, I mean,
he was there sitting next to me.
Well, is it not where Disney is?
It's a suburb of Orlando, so yeah.
But I think like Disney World might be in Celebration, Florida. I'm not certain on that though. Either way, yeah. Hopefully there's something to celebrate next weekend. There was a lot to celebrate this past weekend as Texas Tech softball moves on to the Gainesville Super Regional after one of the most historic comebacks in college sports history, not just college softball history, but college sports history. Was quite a unbelievable feat there, and then Texas Tech looked like we expected the Texas Tech softball team to look after that, and rolled past Ole Miss in the finale yesterday to move on. Is it not? I don't.
It's really close. It's like Wolford would be a way I would describe it. Wolford to Lubbock distance.
Okay.
To it looks like where Walt Disney World Resort is, and Walt Disney World Golf Course and SeaWorld Orlando and all that, Magic Kingdom Park and all that.
Sure.
It's in that neighborhood.
Gotcha.
Mr. Rogers would say they are neighbors. We'll put it that way.
Well, I don't think he had anybody that wasn't his neighbor.
I was just going to let that slide, Choice.
I bet.
Because he wants everybody to be his neighbor.
Won't you be?
It's every day. As I'm sitting next to you now.
So we will dive into, we'll talk some softball. Baseball is set for their postseason, however long it may go, but we know it starts tomorrow. We don't know where it finishes. It could.
It finishes with their next loss.
Well, not necessarily.
Right. I don't think they're winning the Big 12 championship.
What?
I don't. I'm rooting for them to.
Okay.
And if you start getting to Thursday, if you play on Thursday, I'll start maybe thinking you can continue this through Sunday at this point. But you haven't had pitching to last a weekend all season.
True. It would take best games out of a
lot of people.
Pitchers specifically. Pitchers is where it points to. But we've got that Big 12 championship, just a couple more for Wes Kitley to add to the heap. I mean, no big deal.
Do you think that
20 of them now.
When Wes Kitley is looking at his magnitude of trophies, that he's like, where am I going to put this one? Like, that one's got to stay because it was the first, and that was the first one where we did both indoor and outdoor in the same season, and that one came with the national title later, so I got to keep those together.
I mean, I think they're all displayed over at Tech, so I don't know that he gets to pick. Now, I think he gets a ring for each one of these.
Well, sure. Yeah, that's different.
So his ring collection is probably pretty awesome. I don't know which one's at the forefront displayed like you're talking about. The national championship. The Natties are at the front, but then...
But what's after that?
Yeah, when it goes to Big 12s, quite a few.
Do you do it by year?
In there.
Would you do yours by year?
I'd probably put the first one. Yeah, so I'd probably go first one out front after the national championship, and then move on from then. But I don't know. He is the undisputed, when you're just talking about hardware, undisputed best coach in Texas Tech history across all sports, and he's got a newly named street after him as of last week. So pretty cool stuff there. They win. We've got other things we can get into. We'll talk some quarterback, as we always do. I think it sounds like we're about to get some big news, big or just news on the Brendan Sorsby stuff this week. This week it sounds like it's trending in that direction where we'll learn stuff. I think maybe
Do you think anything's going to happen before he gets out of?
I think he's getting
rehab
out this week too.
You think? Okay. I will retract my question then.
I think both will happen this week. I think we will.
So he's there for 21 days, because it was the 27th, and we got another 9 days.
Yeah. Whatever that is, you can hit the 4-week mark still this week, later in the week.
Okay.
So it could be 28 days.
Well, 28 days. There's like a whole movie about it and everything.
Either way. 28 days. Was that No, that's the virus one.
There's one that way, and I want to say that Sandra Bullock was into one.
There's a 28 hours one, right? I don't know.
See, I
know there's a 28 years
one.
one. They've kept going with all these, but no, I don't think I've watched any of those. At first, I was thinking you were talking about the hours one, the one where the spoiler alert dude chops off his arm, but 136 hours maybe.
Oh, the hiker.
Yeah,
dude, that's a good movie. That's a weird movie.
It's weird.
That's one story, that's a movie you watch once.
I think so. Yeah.
You don't need to watch it again. I'm good.
Not much reason to. Yeah.
Can't imagine. Glad got to not experience that for real life. Yeah. She wasn't. Sandra Bullock is in a movie about 28 days about going to rehab. Yes, but there's also a 28 days zombie virus apocalypse.
These are different movies.
Different movies.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe you're right. That I don't think she was in a zombie movie, but I remember it's Sandra Bullock.
Okay. When you said 28 days, that's what I was thinking. But it was both. A 28-day rehab movie.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It came out first, and then it was the zombie apocalypse 28 hours, days, months, years, everything.
Oh, we can also talk about Ronda Rousey and her return for, what was it, like 17 seconds to the octagon?
You are
wanna
spitting new facts for me.
Get into that.
I did not know this happened.
I watched the entire fight on Twitter afterwards because it was.
Oh wow! It was that short. 17 seconds, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Monday afternoon. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score app. Choice Jeff and Ben with you from the First United Bank studio. You'll keep your thoughts, comments, questions, whatever you have, bring it all in the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Through that 100.7 The Score mobile app from the chat line. Someone says, I thought Mark Finkner couldn't be more likable as the voice of the Lady Raiders. He is delightful as the voice of the softball Red Raiders.
I mean, he's delightful when he's not the voice of the Red Raiders or Lady Raiders.
He's a good person to be around, yeah.
So, louder for the people in the back there, boys.
Resident Aggie says, Choice, is everything okay? You seem down. I don't mean to seem down. I'm sorry.
I think you're reserved. I don't think you're down.
I think I was tired. I'm like a little tired, trying to get a little caffeine kick going. So
I would say you're Dean Martin mode right now. Just
Dean Martin. Is
I
Dean
got it.
Martin
Funny, he looks sober.
my favorite?
Are we drinking apple juice over there?
My favorite Dean Martin song would probably be "Ain't That a Kick in the Head," or "Kick in the Head." I think is just what it's called.
It's Ain't That a Kick in the Head.
Is it the whole?
That's
okay.
Amore.
That's a great one, and that's
If I'm going to pick one that I've got to put on repeat forever, that's where I'm
favorite Dean Martin movie. No question.
Rio Bravo. Sons of Katie Elder.
That's the one. Sons of Katie Elder. Because that's probably my favorite John Wayne movie too. But
Favorite Dean Martin movie? Wow, that's going to take some thought.
Resident Aggie says, we play tennis. That is the most Aggie answer ever. And
Bravo, Resident
I
Aggie.
appreciate it.
Bravo, sir.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and apparently they're pretty thumping good.
Wasn't good?
Thumping.
Thumping. Okay.
Thumping.
Fair enough. Hey, did you see that there's a spot in Wisconsin that's trying to help people like Chuck out?
You're going to have to help me on what we're helping Chuck with.
I didn't know. I wanted you to elaborate instead of me.
I would love to tell you I know what you're talking about. I do not. And I would love to tell you what I think problem he has that I think they could fix.
Well, the folks
But I
in
do not know.
Wisconsin on a certain road think that drivers that go over the speed limit is just because they don't notice the speed. So on one particular road, they've decided to put a decimal point. They changed the road speed to 17.3 miles per hour. And it's to catch drivers' attention and encourage people to slow down.
Okay. It's like adding the third brake light.
It's a pretty smaller street. I mean, it'll catch your attention, but I don't think
Doesn't mean they're
main
being right.
reason the people are speeding is... I'm pretty sure Chuck knows the speed on the Marcia Sharp.
I was coming to work Friday afternoon, Friday early evening.
Okay.
And it turned out at one section I was going 10 miles over the speed limit unintentionally because I did not notice the speed limit change. I know where it changes. Blew right past it, didn't like register until I got to the one afterwards. And that's when I was like, oh, hang on. Ooh. This is not how fast we need to be going right now. So it was an unintentional speeding.
Yeah, I think that happens, but I think the majority of the time...
I don't know that the decimal point would have helped for where that
Right.
particular speed limit sign is, but
Right.
I appreciate the thought.
I mean, that's something. All right, Jeff, you get to play a game right now.
Is it a pop quiz?
Well,
Tell me it's not a pop quiz.
I don't want people to think I'm not fun right now.
Pop quiz?
I mean, sort of. I want you to get these within the... within 2 or 3.
I'm scared. Okay.
The full NFL schedule has been released, which means
Nothing.
BetOnline.ag has released spreads for every Dallas Cowboys game.
God. Okay.
So
Here we go.
as it sits right
As
now,
it sits right now,
these
this
are
is the
the
time to
spreads.
bet. These are the worst the spreads in theory should be.
the spreads on the Cowboys game
Okay, go ahead.
at the New York Giants.
Cowboys favored by 7.
Cowboys favored by 2.5.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Remember, 7's a big number in the NFL.
It is. In college, it'd be. Okay, so I got to divide this by 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, remember. Yeah.
NFL. Got it.
NFL. Washington Commanders at home.
At home, Cowboys by 3.
Close. 4.5.
Ha-ha! I got that one.
Baltimore Ravens at home.
Ravens by 3.5.
Ravens by 2.5.
Okay.
Okay, you're in the ballpark. There you go. At Houston Texans, week 4.
Push is how I would put it. I'm going to guess they're going to say Texans by 3.
Texans by 2.5.
Ha-ha! Look at that.
Look at you. Who knew Jeff was such a gambling expert?
I'm really guessing at these guys. Don't
Week
follow me
5.
on gambling advice.
Versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Cowboys by 4.5.
3.5. Okay. So you've gotten all except the first one at this point within a couple of points. They move to at Green Bay in week 6.
Green Bay by 6.
Green Bay by 3. Week 7 at Philadelphia.
At Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, Eagles. What's the date?
I don't have the dates.
You don't have the date in front. Okay.
October 26th.
Okay.
Little cool, but not cold. I'm going to say Philly by 2.
Philly by 3. So you've only missed 2 through the first 7 games. Week 8, Arizona Cardinals at home.
Cowboys by 5.5.
All right, this is the one you got to go big on.
Big? Then I would say 8.
10.5.
Wow.
Cowboys by
that is
10.5. Who's the Cardinals quarterback again?
They don't know.
I forgot.
It's not Kyler Murray.
Oh, Brissett is probably.
Yeah. Brissett's going to start, and then they got the backup, a new backup.
At Indianapolis for week 9.
Cowboys by 1.5.
On the money.
Look at that. I'm not terrible.
These are obviously not spreads that Jeff McGuire, the naysayer, would put. He's going off of what he expects Vegas
what
to
I
put.
said. Vegas. Well, there's also
done pretty well.
There's also a Vegas Cowboys plus.
You've also nailed every team that has been.
Yeah, I've gotten the right side of it.
You've gotten the right side every time. You know, like who would be favored. I'm impressed with that. Week 10, San Francisco at home.
San Francisco by 1.5.
I jinxed you.
Dallas is favored in this
Cowboys by 1.5.
That is shocking to me. That is shocking.
These are as early as you can get lines.
Yeah.
These are 5 months in advance in some
It's not a jinx. I'm just doing really well. It's okay.
Tennessee Titans, week 11 at home.
Cowboys by 100. I hate that team. Okay, so real puck. We'll go 3.5 Cowboys.
6.5 Cowboys.
6.5 Cowboys. Okay.
Eagles at home.
What it was 2.5 for.
It was 3 for.
It was 3. We'll flip it for Cowboys 3.
Cowboys minus 1.5.
Okay.
Still a favorite though. At Seattle, week 13.
We'll go Seattle minus 4.
Cowboys
plus.
No, you actually had that right.
Okay.
4.5. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm at 1.5 off. Okay.
Cowboys, if you missed the schedule last week, a really late bye, week 14.
They're going to win that. 100%.
There we go. Week 15 at the Rams.
I'm going to go Cowboys not the favorite. They're going to be 2.5.
5.5 Rams.
Wow, that's
week
a big line.
16 Jacksonville at home.
Cowboys 4.5.
2.5. Week 17 Giants at home.
Cowboys 6.
Cowboys 4.5, and then week 18 Commanders in Washington.
Cowboys by 4.
Cowboys by 1.5.
Really? Okay.
So you only missed the correct side. 4. You only missed the correct side one time in 17 games. That's pretty impressive. Cowboys are favored in 11 games right now.
Now, if we did this,
that means we're going 11-6, right?
Now let's ask which ones I think they're going to win.
Oh,
that's a different conversation.
That would be a different conversation.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Glad to be part of your Monday afternoon. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Jeff McGuire, yours from the First United Bank studio.
Man.
Okay.
Just saw some bad news.
I saw some good news, so you give the bad first.
So Davis Martin.
Uh-oh.
Starting pitcher for the Chicago. It's not bad news.
Okay.
It's just bad. It's
don't say bad news and then mention Davis Martin.
It's
makes me think
he lowered his ERA to 1.61.
Okay.
He was second in the American League.
Someone overtake that spot?
Uh-huh.
Who?
Nick Martinez is 1.5, and the Yankee guy is 1.35.
Schlittler?
That one.
Okay. Schlittler's a reliever, though. Martinez is a starter, though, right?
I don't think you can be the ERA leader if you're out of the bullpen.
Schlittler has logged enough innings, I think.
As a reliever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been one of their...
Oh, yeah, look at that. No, he went 6 innings, 5 1/3, 6 innings, 8 innings. He's a starter.
Okay.
He might have been a reliever last year. He's a starter
so.
This year.
Martinez is also a starter. Okay, so...
Yeah, I don't think you can be, like for MLB leaders, I don't think you can be a...
That's all right. We'll get Davis Martin back up there.
He gave up 1 run this weekend.
Yeah.
And lost a spot.
It happens. He needs to give up no runs next time.
Hey, I'm just happy when the White Sox win for him and get him some run production.
Which
I can't be upset
actually
with
happened this year.
It really has. It's been kind of nice to see.
It's been great.
6-1 on the year. Yeah, nothing to complain about there.
1.61 ERA.
Yeah.
Yes. What I literally said a minute ago.
So
You sound like he allowed 3.
But he was second last week, and now he's third. And his ERA went down. That's the point I'm going. That's the bad news. He's no longer second in the American League. He's third.
that's right.
I need him to be first so he can get the starting job at the All-Star game.
He's still in the hunt for it.
He is.
All it takes, when you've got those kind of ERAs, all it takes is one bad outing by any of them. And
Sure.
It'll balloon quite a bit.
And let's be honest, at this point, I think it's safe to say, barring one of those 3 guys pitching the day before the All-Star game, all three of them will be at the All-Star game.
Yep, no doubt on that. Okay, Jeff, the good news I just saw.
Yes.
And you know what? Earmuffs David Collier, because you won't say this is good news. But
I'm trying to see what...
Big Ten spring meetings are happening right now.
Okay.
And at the spring meetings...
Did they invite Oklahoma to the Big 12?
No.
I mean, to the Big 10?
The coaches are lobbying for a 2014 playoff.
Oh, does he not want a 24 game playoff?
No, he does not. He does not.
I was not aware.
Most SEC folks don't, because they know that it's got a chance to...
Man, I'm not throwing that with David Collier. I'm not.
Oh, no,
you want to pick on?
No, he said it.
He said he's an SEC guy now.
Yeah, he's been an SEC guy. But most SEC folks, I mean, his main team's in the SEC.
But he's also covered the Big 12 for a very long time.
It doesn't mean he can't like the Big 12, but his main team's in the SEC. That's fine. But I won't speak for David Collier, but most of the SEC folks don't want the 2014 playoff because it makes the SEC come back to the pack a little bit. Meaning, last year, if you would have had a 2014 playoff, there would have been 7 SEC teams. That percentage is not near as sexy as 5 SEC teams, or I guess 4 SEC teams out of 12. Now, and there would have been 5 Big 12 teams, allowing the Big 12 to close the gap
between the Big 12 and the SEC.
Total number of teams on the SEC and the Big 10.
I don't know that I like 24 either, by the way. I think 16 is my number.
That's fine. There needs to be one more expansion, whether it's 16 or 24.
Might be able to convince me to go to 20 and have 4 byes for your conference champions.
Okay.
But I think 16 is my number.
I love the idea of 24. I will be happier with 16 than I am as it sits right now. The byes don't bother me right now. The byes of a month long bother me. That's the problem. It's not that you have byes in place as it is. It's that you're sitting out for 28 to 30 days not playing the sport of football, which you cannot simulate.
No, not in practice.
For a month. 1 week off makes some sense. Get people healed up. 1 month off never has made any sense. And the numbers have bared it out. 1-7. Except for this year's national champion. They're the one team that's figured it out. But the other 7, not so much. So, Big Ten meetings are going on. So, they are pushing for a 24-team playoff We've already heard public support from the Big 12 and the ACC last week for a 24-team playoff. We have Big 12 meetings, the same thing going on next week. So
that'll be fun.
So we'll see what kind of news like this comes out. But the reality, Jeff, is you can have 3 of the 4 major power conferences want this.
And it won't happen.
The reality is we could say this is a Big Ten versus SEC thing. It's not.
ESPN.
It's an ESPN versus Fox thing. Because guess what? ESPN owns all of the inventory, which is what it's called, all of the inventory for these games right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a bunch more games open up, then the bidding is up for grabs. And Fox can get their foot in the door on the college football playoff. ESPN no longer would own the entire product, which makes ESPN less powerful. And that's the reality of it all. ESPN will push hard against a 24-team playoff. 16 teams, 2 more games? Oh, we can. ESPN be like, we can scoop that up. Is that 2 more games? How many is 16? 2 more than we have right now?
Yes.
Because there'd be 4 more teams, so 2 more games. But then we're eliminating buys. I think it is still 2 more games. Math's hard.
Don't do math on the year.
I know.
Somebody tried to make me do math on the year earlier today.
I heard.
No.
But
I even messed up the record in the NFL that you can go 0-6 in your division and still win your division. I couldn't get to 17 games.
But the reality is, it's ESPN. ESPN is the giant stop
9,000 pound gorilla
in all of this. They're the stop sign. So I don't know what can make it happen. We get to see flexes of power here. Are 3 power conferences more powerful than one other power conference and ESPN?
Flexes of power, horse name, beat you to it. Ha-ha.
Flexes of power. That's pretty good. Yeah. I like it. But
I beat the Chatline. I'm kind of happy about that one.
So what do you think we get to? Do you think we get to 16? Do you think it does find its way to 24?
I don't. Okay, so near future, far future, in the future. I think in the future, far future, I think we get to 24. I think it goes to 32 eventually.
I think you're right on all of that. Yeah.
Near future, next expansion, I think goes to 16.
Okay.
Because you do get rid of the buys. You do start faster. You got those games that they've already allocated as premier bowl games that you can start getting used for this. I think that's where this is heading.
Okay.
Because then ESPN still controls everything. They still are doing everything. And there's no giant bidding for anybody else. And I also don't think that... I think with the 16 versus the 24, there's common ground for everybody so that can get approved that way. Because if it comes down to Big Ten versus SEC... I mean, we're obviously in partnership with the Big Ten right now, but we also know that as soon as we agree with what the SEC says, we're going to go that way. So it's not there's no united front anywhere.
You've got 3 power conferences and 1 major network up against 1 power conference and 1 ultimate major network.
Yeah.
It's going to be a massive power struggle. But if there's more money to be had and the right buttons are pushed, we'll get to 24.
Where can we put the NIL money? That's the question we need to ask.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Glad to be part of your Monday afternoon. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chris Snead graces us with his presence. I'm Chois Woodman, Ben Porman across the way. Y'all keep the thoughts and comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. How you doing, Sneeder?
Sped up a little bit, man. Sped up a little bit. but I'm okay. Glad to be here. Sorry for my tardiness. The one thing in life that we know is change. And
change.
So we had to deal with some stuff.
Like some quarters and dimes?
Yeah. But bottom line, I was at lunch with the market president, and that spilled over a little bit, and just had to get got here. So
this is the bottom line.
It is.
You said bottom line. Sorry, just had to.
I missed that.
You're bringing the
beard back.
The beard.
Well, I told you when the beard gets shaved, you know that I've got football activities.
Is beard allowed out west?
No.
Okay, I didn't know.
No, I had the National Referee Clinic was 2 Fridays ago.
No beards.
You shouldn't show up to that event with a beard, and so I shaved the beard off.
Okay.
And then that was over Saturday at noon. At 1 p.m. I started growing the beard again.
Can I request something before you shave it off again? What will that be?
Probably July 15th. I'll shave it that morning.
Can I request something?
What is that?
Can you just take a little bit off at a time each day leading up to it? Not now, but when we're getting close.
So you'll know.
You go into Fu Manchu at one point.
I've done the handlebars before.
I mean,
there's actually a pretty good picture of me back in the Heckler days where I'm rocking some handlebar all the way.
You can give us some John Adams chops if you want. You can do
no chops.
No chops?
No, and I'm not going to do one of those shoestring beards either.
You can do the Michael Jordan stash at the end.
No. See, hey, all you people that knew me when I got
Hitler stash.
When I got married, and I was rocking that little awful mustache back in 1995. Why didn't you people tell me how terrible that thing looked? Because as I look back now at my wedding pictures,
I want to see these now.
And I see that picture. Oh gosh, yeah. You don't have to look very far. It's on my Facebook page.
It's on the Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, just go look. Around. You find the pictures of me, and
I'll go hunt this down.
And there's pictures of me, and that thing looks terrible, man. It looks like a little chinchilla on my face.
You're referring to the Hogan stash there?
Well, I've got a little. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah. You know what? I can probably the week leading up to it, and then that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I'll shave it. Well, I'm flying out Wednesday morning. Then Monday, Tuesday, I might shave the beard part off and go into a goatee, and then go into like a Fu Manchu. Let me stick the soul patch. Let's shave the soul patch there for a while. How are you, man?
I'm good.
Did you? I mean, I didn't get to hear the first hour, but
what?
I mean, well, I was eating lunch. I was having lunch with the market president, man.
Just tugging on your chain, man.
But did you give up? First of all, I want to say you're welcome. Are you want?
I like your shirt. It feels very nice.
You gotta. Hey, play it. Play it. You gotta play it.
What is it? He doesn't know what it is.
It is. There's the one that says.
No.
Choice wants to touch Snead.
No, I just I like your shirt. It's soft.
It is.
It looks soft to the touch. No, that's not what it was.
That was not what it was. No.
There's one that says, I want to touch you.
I want to touch you.
That's all it was.
I want to touch you.
Yeah, there it is. No. I mean, Choice likes to touch.
Not always. It's just if you wear something that looks appealing to the touch, I might reach out occasionally.
Oh, I was going to give you the Stormtrooper jacket.
Yeah, you never did. Okay.
Oh, geez. You know who I did? You know who I gave that to?
Ben Portman.
No.
Oh, okay.
Shelby.
Oh, yeah, you told me that. And I'm like, okay.
I gave it to Shelby.
Daughters, yeah.
Yeah, she
wins.
She got a lot of clothes to go, and she took it down to the whatever sales place and got some Cacheline.
Wait, she's not wearing it? Okay, no, that's not cool.
No, she was buying it.
I would have bought it for you.
No.
Should have bought it from her.
You probably can. I know where it's for sale at.
Texter here says, Choice, this is from El Jefe, what are the chances the poster that said Tech wouldn't make it out of their own regional shows up today? Pretty sure they owe you a Benjamin. They did challenge me $100 that the Tech was not going to make it out of their own regional. But, I told them I'll take whatever bet they want, but they...
Did you accept it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because I mean, it's one of those deals where lots of guys. Did the guy?
I said I will bet you whatever. I mean, the Tech advances. Tech was the number 2 going into the tournament, the second best odds to win a national championship. And then this texter went off, oh, they won't even make it out of their own regional. You know what? You looked really right for 7 or for
Were you
6,
worried about that for a little bit?
6 2/3.
Question I was about to ask you, because I turned it off after the first out of the 7th inning. I said,
really?
Yeah, I
We
did.
kept it in. We kept it on. I was just stewing though.
I didn't. So here's this. I'll say this. Red Raider fans, you're welcome. I saw every run Ole Miss scored. I didn't see a single run Tech scored.
Okay.
Because we turned the game on.
I can turn it on for you in a second. Or we go to the 6th inning. And
Well,
or the 7th inning.
Well, I've subsequently seen it
Okay.
now. But we had we had dropped Shelby off. We were the family that she's going to stay with. We watched the game there, and when we got the leadoff out, we said, okay, we're gonna head to the hotel. So we head to the hotel. We don't even turn the radio on, and by the time we get to the hotel, which is probably 15 minutes from this person's house, we're getting texts blowing us up. Like, holy cow! Oh my gosh! Tech bottom 7th. It's unbelievable, amazing. And so we're looking in, we're checking into our hotel, getting up there. We can't find it. And we get there just in time to see Tech go to the top of the 8th.
Yeah.
And lead off a couple of hitters, get on. And next thing you know, it's like, okay. And then they score the run and we're like, great. So we turn it back off. And so I saw Ole Miss score run number 9, but did not see Tech score runs 9 and 10.
Can you stay away from the television this week? Did you watch? Did you watch yesterday?
I did watch yesterday.
Okay, so
well, we listened. We were listening.
Just Saturday.
We were in the car and we listened to Mark Finkner fight through it. And
apparently, he had a little horse in the throat.
Yeah, he was fighting through it. We listened to the first probably about 2 innings in the car.
Yeah,
driving back. And then got and watched the rest of it.
Texter here says Ole Miss leaving Boyer in is coaching malpractice.
That you get to a point where it starts to tell you about what they feel about the people behind her.
That's part of it, but you could just tell that she was losing the. You could tell she's losing the edge after the home run that made it 8-3. You gotta go ahead and yank her.
I would have. Probably
when the bases are empty at that point.
4 runs would have probably been where I got.
Well, they got to 4 runs.
Yeah,
with the
and I would have said
loaded.
I know that's what I'm saying, but I would have probably said
that would have been
because
a
now
tougher situation to put someone in.
One swing can change the game, and it did.
Didn't it feel like it's crazy to say this because of how unlikely it is? Oh yeah, you would.
I can't say that because I had no idea.
But to me, it felt like she was going to hit that grand slam. Like it felt like it, which is crazy if you know the sport of baseball or softball.
Yeah.
To expect a grand slam, but it felt like it was destined to happen in that moment as the wheels were turning.
This is going to sound crazy, but in softball, it's actually kind of easier.
It is
to get. You can say I'm going to go up there and I'm going to uppercut.
Sure.
And you can get a fastball uppercut, and you're talking 200 feet. It's not like you're trying to hit one 600
There are
feet.
more home runs hit in softball than there are in baseball.
Yeah.
In college softball compared to
and that one that
baseball.
she hit, that was going to be out by a long way. That's probably going to get out of probably 230, a park that's 230 down the lines.
That was halfway up the netting.
Yeah. That ball wasn't a cheap shot.
Oh, that was plenty.
Heck, the one that Nigeri hit, the pitch hit in the 5th, heck, she got that off the end of the barrel, and she nearly muscled that out of the ballpark.
One hopped it into the fence, yeah.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for hanging out with us on this Monday afternoon. You got the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 100.7 The Score app. I'll keep your commentary rolling in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll read some more of that here as we roll along. But first...
All right, gentlemen, pretty simple question. There was a lot of angst about Texas Tech not being a national seed despite its ranking. And many people expressed their angst, displeasure, if you will. Does the 3-game sweep justify, or does the fact that they had to perform one of the best comebacks in the history of all softball vindicate those who made Texas Tech an 11th seed? Is there who got the I told you so? Was it Texas Tech?
Or was
it the selection committee?
I think it's somewhat hard to fully say, because Ole Miss, to me, and this plays into the first part of that, Ole Miss shouldn't have even been in the tournament to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
They're 14th out of 16 teams in the SEC. They went 6-18 in their league. I don't care how good your league is. If you're 6-18, you should not be.
They had 3 times as many losses as they did wins in league.
I'm sorry. I don't. However good your league is, that's not good enough to find the postseason. I don't know what the threshold is, but I know
usually it's 500 in your league.
I can look at that and say that's not good enough.
I mean,
so yes. So I think that's when you played that poorly against them to begin with. And softball is like baseball. When you've got a pitcher that's on, and she was on, then you can run into a whole heap of a mess. But all of that being said, Texas Tech still won, and Texas Tech still swept. And then you looked like the team that should be, a 2 to 5 seed on Sunday. So I think more vindication lies with the Red Raiders, though it wasn't just a roll through the weekend type of situation. And the reason I say that, you look across the country, there were plenty of teams that played tight ones that were national seeds, and it wasn't just full-on smooth sailing everywhere. So yeah, I think there's more vindication with the Red Raiders, and it still shows, look at the firepower that this team has. So yeah, that's where I sit. Ben?
So Choice really hit the nail on the head with the fact that Ole Miss had absolutely no reason to be in the postseason, considering they had more losses than wins in league play. So you take that into consideration, and you also had to consider that even though Tech was shut out, I think 4 times this year, when push came to shove, those plays like the Lauren Allred grand slam or the panel RBI sac fly, just everything that culminated into that special of a moment that they just raised their hand up out of the grave saying, we're not dead yet. And hopefully we're not dead ever. We're still in this thing. And I, too, believe that the Red Raiders are the ones that are the vindication side of things there.
What about you?
I'm a little bit torn here because I, too, think that Texas Tech, that Ole Miss should not have been in this tournament. And because of that, it makes me wonder, why in the world are you having to score 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th in order to beat this team? Because I didn't look at that team and just go, oh boy. I think we've played in league better teams than Ole Miss this year. And
there's 4 Big 12 teams that have advanced to the Supers.
Yeah. And so, I thought that the committee did Tech a disservice, but they also did Tech a little bit of a service, because this was one of those. I think the articles and the blogs and the message board posts were already being written, and people were about to hit send on that. See, we told you, Texas Tech, you guys were worrying about being an 11 seed, and you can't even beat the 13th best team in the SEC.
I'm sure there was plenty that had that locked and loaded.
Yeah, just ready to press send. And some people may have already pressed send on that and having to eat the crow. It's probably a little bit of both. I think Texas Tech played as bad as you can play for 6 2/3, and then they played as good as you can play for 1/3 of an inning, and showed everyone in the world this is why this team is as good as they were, because they could do this. When this lineup gets going, they can do this. And the problem that the team seems to have had all year, even though the numbers don't really bear it out, it seems like when they lose, they're going to get shut out and just dominated at the plate.
Well, and it's, I mean, for lack of a better term here, it almost seems like the team gets bored. Like
I've heard people say that.
Well, when you look at some of these all-time great teams in different sports, and sometimes there's a switch that can be flipped. If you wait too long to flip that switch, then you see shutouts. You see, oh, we just waited too long in this one. I think there has been moments like that. There's no excuse for being bored, if you want to call it that. Put that in the air quotes. In a postseason game, that should never happen. But I'm hoping what you saw is that switch flipped and a tenacity there. Like, okay, we learned a lesson here, and that this is just part of what becomes an amazing story. Like if you go win a national championship, you always will look to that game.
Yeah,
You'll
that is
always go
100%. That hey, there's 3 moments in that inning, in that half inning, that you're down to your last strike.
Yeah.
I mean, one without a run on the board, and you've got, I mean, and then you've got a 3-2 count on a pitch on the outside corner or whatever it is, and you're like, whoa, okay. How many times could that have been the opposite direction for Tech?
Yep.
I mean, it's and there's just a lot that goes into this. I mean, and I think I was listening to the previous show, and there's somebody saying, is Nigeria lost her edge? And I go, huh? Is she? Didn't she have less losses? Than, I mean, the ERA better, or the batting average? I know the ERA is 143, ballooned all the way up to 143. I was like, give up 5 runs in a game and your ERA balloons to 142. Now, that has a lot to do with how many innings she's pitched.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, that's the best way to say this. Teams, players gear up for her. And
I think she gets an absolute target every time she's
absolutely
out there.
Everyone is doing it's like, and I'm gonna relate this back to when I was playing old man baseball here in town, and Rodney Steff, the AAA pitcher, was our closer. And I mean, we used to sit over there in the dugout and just giggle, how many pitches is it going to take for him to get 3 outs here and we were like, I remember saying one time, I say 11 pitches, and sure enough, he's striking out the side on like 12 pitches, but
yeah,
the fact of the matter is, I think people they're giving their best shot. And I remember the first time a guy got a hit off of Rodney Steff, and that guy is like a young kid. He goes, I got him. You hear him say that as he's running by. He got him. I got him.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of energy geared up towards Nigeria Kennedy because, I mean, it's like playing the superstar of the league. You always want to be able to take her down. So I think I don't feel strong about the vindication for Tech in this moment. I hope you have more vindicating moments this weekend against Florida where you go and play like you did in Game 3 against Ole Miss on Sunday.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Monday. Moving on to hour number 3 on 100.7 The Score, 100.7 The Score mobile app, and yours on television, Fox 34 News Now. YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, 950 on your AM dial. However, wherever you're joining us from, we are glad that you've decided to make us part of your Monday afternoon. Alongside Chris Snead, I'm Chois Woodman. Ben Portman across the way taking care of us. Y'all keep hitting us up. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions, your reaction on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, all welcome through that 100.7 The Score app, which you can take anywhere with you, even listen in if you're out in Floyd's Knob, Indiana.
That's different than Gobbler's Knob, right?
I would guess so. Because Floyd and Gobbler don't seem the same. Snead, there's more information, as we just talked about on the Brennan Sorsby stuff. We'll get to that in a moment. But there's more breaking news.
Are we going to fix it?
What are we fixing?
The breaking news. That was better joke than any of the three that you gave me before.
I don't know about that, Bo. We just told you that if you weren't here 5 minutes ago, Brennan Sorsby is filing an injunction.
I guess he just got the NCAA said.
Against the NCAA? No. A big interesting wrinkle with this. Texas Tech quarterback, according to Heather Dinich, Will Hammond, is expected to be cleared for all football activities on August 21st, per Coach Joey McGuire. He should be allowed to participate in player-led 7-on-7s in June. The ideal scenario would be to have him ready for week 2, but McGuire said Hammond should be ready to go by game number 3 versus Houston. This is all unfolding very interesting.
Texas Tech is all but laying out here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to
Hammond's
sue the NCAA, and then we're going to settle for a 2-game suspension, and then or a 3-game suspension.
Basically, yeah. 3-game suspension. Hammond can play in
Week
Corvallis and
Houston
at home against Houston, and then we'll
and then the other guy can
shuffle Brendan
hand the ball
Sorsby
off
in there.
against Dominican State. Who was the first game of the year this year?
That'll be ACU.
Oh.
Give them a little respect.
The last time they came here, they were shoving it up
They
our
were more
rear
than a
ends.
tomato can when you came here.
They were shoving it up our rear ends and making us like it.
The name Maverick McIver is still rent-free in some of these fans' minds.
How many? Well, once again, that's another guy. Every time you play a team with a guy that's loaded with guys that used to play for you, with a coach that used to coach for you, lots on the line, and they're taking it way more serious than you are. Because you thought you were going to show up and they're going to see that little double T on your helmet and they go, oh my God. And they said, yeah, we don't really care. We know what that double T is all about.
So, Snead, we got a lot to digest in the last
5 minutes.
5-10 minutes. So, going back to Brennan Sorsby, the Hammond news is huge because there's a lot of people that are like, he's not going to be back till midway through the year. Having him back where he's fully cleared for football activities August 21st is big.
Mm-hmm.
If you get him starting in week 2, it's big. But back to the Brennan Sorsby stuff. The filing made in a district court in Lubbock County, Texas.
Shocker.
I've heard of it. Cites the NCAA's, quote, deeply hypocritical position on gambling and, quote, wholesale abandonment of its obligations and duties to promote the well-being of student-athlete Brennan Sorsby. Sorsby, whose prominent attorneys Jeffrey Kessler and Scott Tomset are part of his legal team, is currently ineligible. So this is the part that hasn't been revealed to us. We've kind of assumed that there's an ineligibility, but there's never been an announcement. So attorney said, currently ineligible to play for Texas Tech due to prior violations of the NCAA's sports gambling rules. So they're apparently aware of this now and would be irreparably harmed, there we go, if the injunction isn't granted. NCAA has yet to make any public decisions or declarations on Sorsby's status. The filing also says Sorsby suffers from a clinically diagnosed gambling disorder, which is a mental health condition.
Which opens the door to HIPAA, which means you can't.
This is where
Tech can't talk about
suits.
it.
The filing also states the NCAA has weaponized his condition to shore up a facade of competitive integrity while simultaneously profiting from the very gambling ecosystem it polices. And this is what I've talked about for a while now.
I've lived in that, and not lived in it, but I have spoken in that vein, that the NCAA kind of talks out of both sides of its mouth
Completely.
And it's really kind of disingenuous of them to go after a player and then in the same sentence saying, we're going to take the money from the commercials during our championships.
I mean, we talked about it the day after Sorsby, the Sorsby news comes out. Ari Wasserman for On 3 is sitting there doing a little podcast.
Yeah.
He's talking about gambling. This segment brought to you by MGM Grand.
Exactly. And then that same thing.
Bet MGM.
And you're watching the same thing, on Get Up. These guys are over there panning this kid. And then, they're in the DraftKings studio.
Right.
Talking, this is the so-and-so breakdown brought to you by, MGM Grand.
So I'm not going to sit here, and I've maintained this the whole time. I'm not going to sit here and defend what Brendan Sorsby did. I'm not saying what he did was good, that it was right, or any of that sort of stuff. I'm saying there's got to be grace in today's world. Back when the NCAA completely gave gambling the stiff arm, said we won't have anything to do with gambling. Las Vegas, oh my gosh, we won't ever even talk about Las Vegas
unless.
Well, their national championships there this year, by the way. But all of this stuff, the NCAA just completely looked at gambling as taboo for a long time. And with that, when that was their stance, Snead, completely fine to treat it as, hey, this is the biggest sin you can commit. You do it, you're gone. But now that you are sleeping with the enemy here, you've got to have some grace in these situations. The punishment cannot be as harsh as it once was.
Yeah.
Now, to me, there still needs to be punishment, and there still, I think, will be punishment. But the NCAA is going to have to show some grace. And I think that's where there will be a case. We'll see what happens. Again, we could find out in a couple of weeks that there's not really any solid footing on this. And Brendan Sorsby moves on to the NFL supplemental draft. But it does feel like this is trending in a direction where you're going to see, in my opinion, Brendan Sorsby play some games for Texas Tech in 2026. But you also have apparently a healthy quarterback in Will Hammond, or healthier.
I am fully now gone back the other direction now and thinking that you're going to play. You'll have Brendan Sorsby this fall.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.